What's up, wrestling fans? We're back again. This is Discuss Impact. I'm JaySin, along with the Horror King, Gary. Gary is currently watching the new Saw movie trailer for the 20,000th time, so I'm going to have to take it for a little bit here until he pops in. Now, we've been talking, behind the scenes. We want to thank everyone for the crazy amount of views lately, but where the hell are the subscribers at? So had to throw that out there off the top. We're not getting many subscribers. There can't be that many people hate listening to us, I don't think. I mean, maybe there could be. I guess I'm more hateable than it seems. Speaking of which, the mailbag is returning this week. Shout out to our producer, Larry, who has not been feeling too good, unable to produce this episode. So hopefully that doesn't mess up our nice streak we got going. Luckily, our friends at Anthem stepped in to help us produce this. And hopefully there are not too many technical issues. I kid. I just want better. How's it going over there, Gary? You done watching it?
Yeah, it's got me pretty stoked. 10th entry. It's not too easy to be like a 10th part in and still have some mojo going for it, Jay.
I was surprised it was 10. I really thought it was like 7 or something like that. But
yeah,
I guess.
I totally. Well, no, it's just I was gonna say I totally know it's been 10 because like I'm one of those lunatics that shows up every year. It's Halloween. It must be Saw.
I didn't know they counted Spiral.
Oh yeah, totally is in that. I don't know the word for it. You might know the.
I would say it would be more. I don't know. I thought it was more like a side quest kind of a whatever. So
yeah.
Okay, we got a lot of news this week. The UK tour finally announced, which I literally joked about last week. I don't know if you remember, Gary. I was like, we're going to have some huge news coming, like a UK tour. Totally joking. I was going to act. I kind of acted a little somewhere like I knew what I was talking about, but no, not in that case. Total joke. UK tour is coming in October, I believe. Is that right?
Yeah, 3 days, the 26th, 27th, and the 28th in Glasgow, Newcastle, and Coventry.
And they also, that's just awesome. That's so goddamn cool. I think everyone can agree, like, the UK shows are usually, like, the best thing Impact does, or at least it was. I was a little down about the Australia shows, so I don't know. I'm just hoping. I don't want to
yeah, well, I think a lot of the problem with Australia is the way the presentation is because, like, it is Australia. They actually don't have a lot of access to, technical equipment, say, as much as, say, a UK would. So I think this will be a huge step up in the production. So
I hope you're right.
If I'm wrong, Jay can ban me 1 week from the channel.
Okay, so we got bigger news, like Bound for Glory was announced, but I have this pulled up right now, so I don't want to miss it. Alex Shelley will defend his Prestige Wrestling Championship against Chris Sabin in September. I thought that was interesting and possibly like leading to, an Impact kind of thing where one Sabin's a heel or one of them's a heel.
Oh, that's totally cool. I didn't know that was even a thing. I'm glad you kind of dig around and find this news I don't hear, Jay.
Yeah. Another little thing was Trinity was hanging out with AJ Mendez. That became like a news story, literally just those two taking a picture together. So, like you were saying before we started, I think Trinity is a little bigger than even we thought.
Oh, yeah. Look at that pay-per-view Buyrate.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was. That's where I was going. Reportedly, it's 4 times as much as last year. The Slammiversary Buyrate, which was led by Scott, and I gotta say, I'm not a big fan of his, but if he can bring in those numbers, he should be wrestling on every pay-per-view. Shouldn't he?
Well, my thing is going into this pay-per-view, I wasn't completely sold on the card as a whole. There was a lot of things in it that were kind of cringe for me, but like it came out being a pretty solid pay-per-view. There must have been something in there that caught the eye of somebody out there, because like you said, you hit 4 times last year's anniversary.
And I can't think of it off the top of my head, but I would guess that I thought last year's was better just because I didn't love this year's.
Oh yeah, totally. You're spot on with that. I don't even think it's close as to which pay-per-view was better.
So kind of shocking that it got 4 times more. I mean, that's a lot of times in terms
Yeah,
of like
somebody.
wrestling and Impact. And I don't know. I thought they were doing kind of shitty lately in terms of everything, but that's like really, I don't know. That's like
Well,
the first number we've seen in a while that can make us feel, pretty good.
yeah, well, somebody was figuring out the figures of about how much they would have made off that pay per view at what was it, like 4,000 for what was it? How many pay per views did they sell? Was it?
It was 4 times as many. I forget the exact number, but
Yeah, well, somebody tried figuring it out. I think they made like out like something like 200,000, which is a hair short of like 200, like $250,000 on that pay per view. So, we keep everything at cost, so I'm sure it turned out to be highly profitable.
so we also have spoilers from the Chicago. What the hell is it? Chicago Heat.
Yeah, Chicago Heat tapings.
Not a
Two
huge
night,
fan. Not a
two
huge
night.
fan of that name, and we only have spoilers from one day. But Kalisto made his Impact debut. Sorry, I guess I shouldn't have said that so early, but that is kind of news that was out there already. But we're not going to get into the spoilers until later at the end, and we'll let you know. So, another match that was crazy interesting to me, Masha versus Sabin, is another one at Wrestling Revolver. I mean, I guess follow Wrestling Revolver. They got some crazy cool shit going on, and clearly a lot of impact. And okay, Emergence. They announced Deanna will be facing Trinity she's getting her rematch, and it would not be surprising if she wins in some kind of bullshit way because Trinity is currently filming the biopic of Mildred Burke, who, if you don't know, is the first ever $1 million female athlete and champion pro wrestler, former NWA women's champion, all kinds of things. Camille is also in the movie. I forget who else. There's a few other wrestlers in it. Somebody from Tony Storm just got a role in
Oh,
the movie. So I mean, I saw a picture of them filming. So like, I'm not really sure what's going on, or maybe Trinity posted a picture of because with the strike, can they film? I don't know. I don't know how well that works. You're the movie guy. You
yeah,
would know better.
yeah. That's yeah. I know a lot of productions have either shut down or they're all moving everything back to 2024. Sadly, I'm sure that's what's going on with
So how
Crystal.
is so how is Saw coming out?
I'd assume that was already in the can before the strike. They probably had some like behind the scenes, I don't know, content that they
But
probably had this kind of
I thought
piece together.
I thought like part of it was you can't put new movies out, but that's not. It's just like this is just like writers and shit.
Yeah,
What
yeah.
if it? What about the writer who wrote Saw? Isn't that what they're fighting out? Whatever.
Well, that's the thing. How do you know like somebody out of left field isn't going to come and delay that too? Because they could say, well, they want royalties, and you know what I
Yeah,
mean. It's a sticky mess.
yeah, it's a confusing thing. Did I just say? I think I said Bound for Glory, right? That is also in Chicago. Oh no, I didn't say that. Bound for Glory is in Chicago, Cicero Stadium, October 21st. Also for Emergence, they have an 8-man tag. I believe it's 8 men, right? Bully and
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, I don't have it pulled up. It's Team Bully against Team Good Guys, and I'm not that excited. It's Josh. I mean, I did think maybe that they want to ease Josh back into it, so like you put him in that instead of whatever. But I don't know.
Well, the thing is going into Emergence. The selling point probably for most people right now was the announcement of Sonata showing up at the event. So that was a pretty good
Yeah,
thing for them to be able to land some kind of deal to have him there next
yeah.
month.
And apologies, I should have had that match pulled up. Who was in the that 8-man tag, but kind of not really feeling it, and it got me angry when I saw it. And Christian Thompson from our group, I think I got that name right. Basically said the same thing. They are a writer for. Damn it, I can't pull up the site right now, but it's featured in the Impact Wrestling fan group, which all Impact Wrestling fans should be part of. I talk some shit like I usually do, but more than that, I just post a crazy amount of news, and that's kind of my thing. I don't really take any,
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah, this is coming off our Jay's mass exodus of having to get rid of
Oh
like
yeah, got rid of like
800,
got rid of
800
like a zillion people. Damn it! And as I was talking, I was just trying to pull up the emergence card, and I pulled up Bound for Glory like an idiot. But guess what? I'm really fast. So Time Machine, Alex Shelley, Chris Sabin, and Kushida Okay. I changed my mind. I think I like this now. Something's gonna happen here. This is where it happens. This is where Saban gets fucked or something. You know what I mean? With Shelley, Saban, and Kushida all together, and like two of them. Kushida has what, the title or the number one contender thing,
Yeah, he won the
and then
Ultimate X.
and they have Josh, who I'm sure Josh wants. I'm sure Josh wants Shelley's belt. That could get interesting. Maybe Josh turns heel, and then it's against Bully, Myers, Moose, and Leo Rush, which, at least for the time, Leo got injured. That's some more news. They said he'll miss a week or a few weeks at the very least, so I'm not sure if he'll be back for then. Hopefully he is. Oof, remembering a lot of news here. Really shocked.
Bullet dodged with Leo Rush. I thought when we
I
had
hope
talked,
so.
behind the scenes about everything, it sounded like he'd be out several months. So I'm glad to hear that he's recovering quite fast. So
Yeah. Before we get into Impact, the Impact episode for, I believe it was the 27th.
Yeah.
Of what the fuck month are we in? I don't even.
July
27th. So before we get into that, I have kind of little bad news, or possibly gonna be bad news. There was an interview with Jimmy Uso, who is married to Trinity / Naomi, and he basically said, she wants to come back, which kind of is scary, and sucks, or just it is what it is.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like, she even said herself she didn't ever really want to leave, and I mean that's fair because at least she's honest.
Yeah.
There was a lot of politicking going on at that time, all kinds of rumors about Vince McMahon, and I don't know, I guess behind the scenes, and like him having a run in with her, and what's the other lady? I can't think of her name right now.
Yeah, I forget, but I mean, they had the whole Triple H thing. Like Triple H and Vince were kind of going back and forth, and no one. I mean, I don't know if it was how real it was. Like, I can't imagine Vince ever not doing anything while he's around. So I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, so,
yeah.
But I guess it could. I guess it's possible because a lot of people have been going there. Everyone seems happy, at least compared to, like there's not as many, fuck this, fuck WWE, it's the worst thing ever. Like, people aren't leaving like they used to, like she did, stuff like that.
Yeah, I just think it was ill timing for Vince to come back into the fold because it actually started to look like Triple H was kind of like, bringing it back the other way. But I don't know.
Yeah, the whole thing is confusing to me. I mean, I read every day like all different things. Like WWE's burying Eli Drake, and meanwhile I just posted something. I don't know if you saw it. He's the number like 2, 3, and 5, or 1, 3, and 5 selling shirts. In WWE. Could you imagine that? The Impact dude, our man, friggin' Eli Drake. Like, I'm usually never happy when someone goes to WWE and does better, but like in this part, I really am. Like, I just love that dude, and I watched him on a TV show with The Rock even before he joined Impact, and it's just crazy seeing where he's going. And could you imagine? Isn't that insane?
Well, that's why I said
outselling the Bloodline.
Way back when he was with Impact, I should say. When he was with Impact, I was like really, like when we were talking about like possibly re-signing him, I told everybody we need to land this guy on a huge, I don't care what kind of money, Moose kind of money, if you will.
I'm with you, and I don't like doing that for anyone, but if they could have, man, he was like the one guy that really hurt me when he left, because like he was just entertaining every goddamn week, no matter what he was doing. And before I forget, it's TJRWrestling.net. That is where Christian Thompson writes. Great writer, does Impact reviews all the time. And on to the show. This was the show where Giselle beat Masha totally clean. Oh, sorry, I forgot we had a live studio audience for this one. Keep it down. We're trying to do a podcast. So I really hated everything about that. Was it not totally clean, Gary? Because I was so angry, I kind of lost my shit.
It looked like kind of like one of those kind of like disaster matches. Kind of like you kind of thought going into it, Masha would have easily picked up the win, but like I don't know if there's some confidence kind of thing going on. But like what I saw was like there was some distraction going on outside the ring. I can't remember.
I did see some of that, but I mean, in the end, I'm pretty sure she just without like nobody was. nobody held her legs or whatever the hell it was.
Yeah, totally.
And she, I mean, am I wrong? Is she not one half of the hottest act in the company right now by far?
Yeah, you said that I think a couple weeks back, and I kind of like looked at the landscape of Impact, and I'm like, really there isn't really anything that's fresh other than the MK Ultra stuff, So, I mean, you're not wrong. I'm totally happy to see where this is going to go with Killer Kelly and Masha.
And again, it wasn't a bad match. I mean, it was just. I mean, if you've been following Masha, she came in, they pushed her like Goldberg. You know what I mean? She lost every goddamn title match, and fans, like we all still loved her. We saw that. We saw she could be very good. She could hang with Deanna and all that. And again, like she should not be losing here, or at least make one of them. How about you make, like I said last week, make Kelly be the loser, and then Masha's kind of like the dominatrix, that beats her ass backstage, and we see like a little glimpse of that.
Yeah, all I can think of is Killer Kelly's been eating a pin a lot, like here and there, like before she formed with Masha.
Yeah.
And, like it kind of really, I mean, it's a travesty in our eyes, but it kind of really doesn't really count at this point because she's in tag team action.
Well, I count
forward. Yeah, I know, but I mean, like from a champion.
I'm just thinking of like I don't know, like incredible tag teams. Like how many of them started out and like they're losing in singles matches? Like did Bret Hart lose in singles matches when he was when they were kicking ass with him in the Anvil or things like that? Did half of Demolition lose? You know what I mean? Like it just whatever.
Yeah.
I can.
Yeah.
But I totally get it. All this was is to set up so Giselle and I guess Savannah will face Masha, and this is all because they don't have tag teams. That's all it is. That's the only reason it's happened.
Yeah, totally. I think I was just gonna say that
they can't do the Coven again.
Oh yeah, totally. Because like the problem with everything is like you got like it determined already. You got Trinity and Deanna going at it right now, and like really outside of the kind of the credible champions, it's right now it's going to circulate around Masha and Killer Kelly and a few others, and I think at some point, whether you like Giselle or not or whatever, I think at some point you do have to give her some kind of victories. And
oh yeah, totally with you. I just don't. I mean,
yeah,
I don't know. I guess I wish there were more tag teams that they can build up Giselle and.
Yeah, definitely.
Actually, sorry, there is. How about Giselle just beats friggin' Taylor Wilde?
Yeah.
that wouldn't have been easier. But I mean, to be fair, they were on this show and they lost to Trinity and Danny Luna for God knows what reason other than.
Yeah, we were conflicted by that booking.
I swear, this is what I think. I really think Trinity and Danny were backstage, and somebody saw that they matched perfectly because of Danny's hair and Trinity, and they were like, "Huh, all right, let's put those two in a match together. Those are some good colors," and that's all it was based on. And to get Trinity on the show, and Danny Luna's a good, but like, why beat the Coven? Like they just lost the championships, and you said this, I think last week, how like a champ loses, then they get like buried instead of like kind of staying on that level,
Yeah, because like I mean that the case could be said for like you just said about Taylor Wilde. She's really kind of been on a massive losing streak, and I mean I could honestly see a storyline where you kind of like break up the Coven.
That's what I mean. And they were just tag champs, though. You know what I mean? It's like they gotta chill, and they can't break up the Coven. Like what do they have? 2 tag teams?
Yeah, that's what I mean. But like I could totally see that storyline on the wall with Kylin.
Oh yeah.
Because she's kind of like losing her stuff, right?
There was a match at the tapings, Kylin versus Deanna for the first time ever. So maybe like you're kind of saying, I mean, I could definitely see Kylin moving up. Or that's the problem, though. It's not moving up because, I mean, so could Taylor, who couldn't move up in the tag division? And both MK Ultra members, obviously. Either one, I think we would love as champ at some point soon.
Well, I don't know why they haven't explored the avenue of like just ditching the tag team title and just having like a women's intercontinental kind of title.
We talked about this in the group and had a little poll, and it was kind of even, or add the Intercontinental title, but I mean, there's no time for that. I'm sorry, Impact fans. You guys are wacko. There's just not enough time. And speaking of wacko,
You've got mail.
it's my favorite time of the week. We skipped last week because of whatever reason. And okay, so we got a two-parter. This is from Eddie in Brooklyn. Impact needs to change creative. But who is out there other than someone like an Eric Bischoff? Okay, I'm going to leave that one for you, Gary, because I have one just for me. This is pretty sweet. Jay, I followed you on Twitter. I remember when you posted about how T&I would lose their guests and then their hosts would disappear. Everyone thought you were crazy, and it happened exactly that way. Even your old pal J-Bone got the show like you said. Was that actually intended? Whatever. Awesome work. Well, that's pretty cool. Someone actually remembers me from Twitter. Thank you. That's cool. New York in the house. We don't usually get people from New York. Yeah, I haven't been on Twitter in a long time. I got tossed by Elon after talking some shit. I was kind of like testing like what the new Twitter would be like. And I thought you could say like literally anything. And I found out, no, that wasn't the case. I mean, they got me so bad. It was like, you could never even make a new account and come on Twitter again. But whatever. I went to Facebook where there's tons of actual real fans talking, and, you know, they're not all psychotic freaks, and it's really cool. Yeah, I'm not going to talk about J-Bone. You can all figure that shit out if anyone actually cares. And I will let Gary take after I say I'm not sure about creative people. And I think that's a big problem. Yes, I like Bischoff, but I would like a young Bischoff, if that makes any sense. You know, like someone that we don't know of, I guess. Someone like fresh that can walk in and look around and see things differently like I think he did. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. There's different people. A number of people I have. I have possibly your Conan. Dutch Mantel's another one I'd consider if he's not, because I notice he's doing a lot of podcasting. So that kind of.
I was going to say, I think everyone has some kind of AEW job.
Oh, okay. See,
I think they're smart like that. Like it's just very similar to WWE. Like WWE's stacking talent, and like they're kind of stacking like the old business guys. But how about this one? Jim Ross's contract is coming up soon. Just remembered that. Damn it! Oh, perfect timing, Jay. Nice. How would that be? I mean, I don't know about creative, but like, wasn't he like the man in terms of like keeping people under control? And I think that's what Impact needs more than anything over the years. Like, nobody drops a fucking title. How about that? That's not a thing.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
well,
like someone has to be in charge where there's no drop. I mean, I still don't understand why Mickey dropped a title and she's wrestling. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, I know at one point Jim Ross was this close to signing with Impact. So, he is. I'm sure he's probably called enough matches in his lifetime, I'm sure, and would be more interested in doing that, having that aspect of the the wrestling business.
I'm not sure about creative with him. I think he would be like too big for that. But I mean, I think he would have to take like Scott's job, and then you get somebody in creative. But I don't know, man. Scott is a goddamn draw, which I didn't know about. So.
But I do have another one too. That I know he's a AEW and whatnot. But there was a time not too long ago he was kind of complaining about creative not really having anything for him but a manager. And that was Jake the Snake Roberts, and everyone knows that he has probably one of the best mind that people put him down with his drinking and his having all of his demons and whatnot, but. Yes. I don't think there's a better mind in wrestling currently, live and kicking.
You might be right. I'm currently searching for a thread because I had something in there that I really wanted to see. Oh, I got it. Yeah. Okay, so if anyone listens to me, or have seen me or anything, I do not like Johnny Bravo. It's not personal. I just cannot stand the character of Johnny Bravo. But Dirty Dango. I mean, I'm sure you saw this, right? The Dango Bravo segment when he was not a segment. They were just like outside, I guess, talking.
Oh yeah. This is stemming off the week before when we see Johnny Bravo wasn't he hitting Dango's opponent with a billy club or something like that?
Yeah, that was that was last week, right?
Yeah.
So I'm sitting there like staring at the thing, like, oh. Fucking Bravo, I hate him so much. But it made a great joke that would not have happened if Bravo wasn't just standing there. So, like, what's his name? Dango is like, he's messing with Bravo. He's like talking to Bravo, and he's like, "Weren't you in Vietnam or something?" And he's like, "Yeah, for a week on vacation." It was a bad joke by Bravo, but Dangle looks at the camera and goes, "This man spent close to a week in Viet fucking Nam." And I just started, I started crying. Like you're not expecting the F word to come out, like.
Oh yeah. Well, like that's what I mean. I think this is the direction we need to start going. Kind of like not be that PG product. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah, I mean, how that's a good one actually. How many times have they dropped the F word?
Yeah. He literally said the F word. I'd missed that.
Yeah.
Wow.
I have
No.
I wrote it down. He goes, "This man spent close to a week in Viet fucking Nam."
Well, it's a kind of makes
I did
me
like a spit take.
What kind of makes me wonder if Delirious isn't being a part of, you know what I mean? Like the difference in that.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, I don't know. I feel like half of this shit is really good right now, and half of it is just really boring. Like the Rascals are really cool, evil Rascals. I'm really enjoying the evil Rascals. I kind of would never seen that coming. On
Oh
the other
yeah.
hand, sorry.
Well, that's what I was just gonna say because later on when we discuss that match, like I'm totally cool with what happened, only because like they're trying to sell it, sell these guys as like, they pull, all the ropes or whatever to try and
Yeah,
get a win.
yeah, I like it. Yeah, I mean, and I guess it started with Trey with the stupid spray paint that we didn't like. Although I have to say, I don't know if you saw this, but CM Punk spray painted the AEW title, and I hate everything about spray paint these days. It's like, whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just one of those things. Okay, but then there's just terrible stuff, in my opinion, like the design. And I hate to say it, man, because I always loved Diener. Seems like an awesome guy in real life, but they did nothing when EY was gone to make us believe the design is anything we should give a shit about. Is that fair? And now EY's back, and they look incredible at the end of the show. Like, no, I don't buy that.
Well, that's the thing I didn't like either because like you could, like they're down to 2 members now. There's no more Alan Angels. There's no Joe Doring.
Yeah, and now they're stronger than ever for what? I mean, EY should have taken both of them out.
Well, I mean, in fact, really, all they become is basically Khan. You know what I mean?
Seriously, yeah. And with Diener yelling, this is from.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Which
from
is
the
pretty
group.
sad.
This is from the Impact Wrestling Facebook group. Totally given up on finding out the pronunciation, so I'm just going to call him Dr. Shrage from now on. Alan Shrage. They need to wrap this up with EY and the design thing fast. It's old news. Get EY a partner and put them down. Yes. Okay, maybe you can. Leon Fontaine, Eric Von Doom of Impact Viria. I didn't know what the hell that meant, so I just wanted to read that one, and maybe you knew. I'm not sure.
So that
again. Eric Von Doom of Impact Viria. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe something about a TV show that I don't know. Okay, this is from me. I loved Yuya showing some character. I thought that was awesome, even though it was literally a second of a character. Like, it was way more than we've gotten.
Yeah, well, that's what was interesting going on into this week. Like, not just this week. He had a little bit of that flair going on, if you will. And I don't mean Ric Flair. I mean, a little bit of standout-ish stuff with Joe Hendry, and we've asked for this for the past few weeks to just kind of
anything,
show something,
anything. It's exactly what they did. Just a little something. That's all. Okay, I wrote should have swapped a swinger match and the BTI match. And Christian Thompson, who's an actual writer, I say I write sometimes, but I'm not a writer. Absolutely, one of the most painful segments I've watched in my 13 months of review and Impact. I like just mentioning them because they.
Well, we've touched on this.
Legit. They're a legit writer, and I'm not. So go ahead.
Yeah, it's just that we've touched on this in the past. They've made some bad, TV creative decisions with some of the matches that should be on. Like, if you would have stuck some of them BTI matches on the regular TV, I think the show would have flowed much better.
Yeah, I forget the actual BTI match, but I want to say it was Yuya and. Damn it! Well, I forget, but it was a pretty good. No, it was Kenny King and Sheldon Jean. Maybe it was against Yuya. Whatever it was a hell of a lot more interesting than this crap. Although some people did stick up for it, and I guess some people like it. Then hey, good for you. I liked Johnny Swinger at one point, but this was so goddamn quiet. I mean, you can hear them talking to each other outside the ring. Which I started laughing. Like, you shouldn't be able to hear people talking to each other.
I got a question about this whole thing with Swinger and Dice. Like, how many people actually get that thing that comes down to that he pushes Johnny down to the ring? I would like to know how many people actually know what that's a reference to, because that's what I mean. Like, if you don't know that, then like, it just seems like
there's a lot of things like that with wrestling now, where like they kind of I don't know the word, pigeonhole themselves into where you have to know about other wrestling in the past.
Yeah, I mean, anyone that knows that.
I swear to God, I pay so little attention to him. I didn't even notice that. Does he always come out in that?
Yeah. Jesus. Yeah, he's even pushed
Jesus.
He's even pushed him to do announcing or interviewing.
I thought it was. I remember it once. I thought it was like a pay-per-view thing or whatever. But okay, so here it is. Kenny King, Yuya pinned Kenny King on BTI. So then,
whoa,
this was back.
Yeah, that's a recent match.
This was on BTI.
Oh, really? Wow,
that's what I was saying. This was I forget the goddamn match. I'm pretty sure it was Kenny King tag team match with Sheldon Jean against Yuya and maybe Joe Hendry. Whatever. That's not the point. The point is, yeah, this definitely should have been on TV, and this was backstage right afterwards. And then Santino, they talked about Yuya getting a win. Yuya actually showed some personality. Yuya talked about him like, I can be champion. And, Hendry was kind of giving him a look like, no. So maybe that's when Hendry turns heel in the UK. Because no matter what he does, he won't be a heel.
Because I do know there's references to Grado showing up too. So who knows?
I thought it was actually announced somewhere. I mean, somebody. I think it was Cage Side Seats. They said Grado will be there. I mean, I didn't actually read it all. Who it came from, but I'm guessing that's legit.
Yeah. That ought to be over really big there.
I feel like no matter what happens, Jake something is just not going to get over unless he changes his name or something. No pun intended.
Oh, yeah, that's the thing. We're like,
should we call him Big Jake? God, I hate to steal from the terrible AEW name from what's.
I don't know, Jake. That kind of sounds a little too
Big
much.
Bill.
Bodies by Jake,
Well, how about Big Bill? How about Big Bill? The name of Jesus, what the hell was his name? The guy we had an Impact for a while. He got a nice little push.
Okay, Morris.
Morrissey. Got to give it to him a little. You know who he's teaming up with?
Who's that?
Brian Cage.
Oh wow,
pretty good team.
Yeah.
So I mean, I like Jake. He's a huge dude. They had a little video about like his dad taught him hard lessons and like what's my name. How about just Jake? Because something sounds so stupid. Like, what's my name? Like, no one's ever going to shout something. And even if they do, it's going to sound ridiculous. Like Big Jake, Jake, like anything.
Well, with me aesthetically, it looks really bad on the Tron too. Like the way they do it. It just, and then it like when you see it on the trunks too, it just looks so indie. You know what I mean? Like,
I believe it's also what you call something like this is definitely not the word, but an ungoogleable word. Where like I bet you if you type Jake's like if you type in something, you're never gonna get to Jake. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's gonna find like I just did it. It's got the Beatles. It's got like the references to the word something and like. But like other people, sure. Like you type in Trinity or something, and she'll probably pop up in the first 20. But whatever, we're spending too much time on this guy's name. So
yeah.
Kazarian and Tracy Brooks backstage. I mean, I feel like this is so goddamn obvious. We mentioned this before. Bound for Glory. Mixed tag, right? Like too obvious.
No, what I did notice though is like it seems like Tracy hasn't aged a day. It's got to be quite, I'm not knocking on her age, but like she's been out of the wrestling scene for quite a while. I mean, I wonder if she's like been kind of training behind the scenes as well.
Women can stay in shape for no reason, Gary, you sexist bastard. Sorry, just kidding. So then we had the Time Splitters versus Moose and Myers, which I really enjoyed. I like the team of Moose and Myers, but I also just want Moose at the top kicking ass again. I like Myers, but I don't know. I don't think he's ready for this position he's in, where he's alongside Moose and the Time Splitters and all these other top guys.
Oh yeah,
And Time Splitters
yeah.
got the win.
I just don't know where they're gonna go with it. Like, I mean, yeah, you could put the belts on them, but like, I don't know. Just, I think to me, Moose and Myers to me are better as single acts.
Yeah, I mean, I like the idea, but I can't really see where they fit right now in terms of
Yeah.
everything. Like, unless they are going to get the titles, which I don't think they are going to, especially with the Rascals there. I'm sure it's just a matter of time before they get them. I mean, or just a long ABC Rascals goddamn thing, which I'm all for. And speaking of, there was a backstage thing with the Rascals in a parking lot, which I liked. I mean, these guys aren't great, what's the word, characters, I don't think. I don't think they'll ever be. Like, they're not great talkers. But, like, stick them in different places, Like, the treehouse was cool, Now they're in a parking lot just being dickheads,
Yeah, well, it says here in the writing, it says they threw popcorn at Bailey, which kind of led to the confrontation. Which I think this kind of thing is what we're lacking in wrestling. Is kind of like little kind of like keep you kind of glued to the the episode, and like I don't know, it just seems like as of late Impact's just like they go backstage, they do interviews, but there's a little bit of confrontation, but nothing seriously goes down. You know what I mean? And I think that's lacking, right? Not just in Impact, but like in wrestling as a whole.
Yeah, I also think part of it is Aldis, who I think has done he did an awesome job while he was around. But like during this episode, it was like, how am I going to care? Like knowing he's leaving, like he gave a good promo, he was in a really good match, but he's leaving and he's like, whatever. So, but going back to that thing, yeah, it was just the Rascals acting like total like young dickheads, and I really loved it. And they said, they messed with Bailey, and then the next match was Bailey versus Wentz, and Wentz got the win after some spray paint, and I think Wentz is like 3-0 with 3 huge wins, or at least 2 since he's returned.
Yeah, they made the comment that I can't remember who he beat the week before. Can you? Was it?
It was somebody similarly good. I don't know.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I
mean, it wasn't Kushida, but whatever.
Yeah, well, either way, but like,
let us know in the comments, you lazy bastards.
It's just really cool that the creative is nailing it here, though, because they could have went back to the old treehouse and kind of drudged the same,
small complaint
stuff. You know what I mean?
Small complaint. I don't like Mike Bailey losing as much as he does.
Yeah,
I mean, he's like probably the wrestler of the year.
Oh,
is that fair to say? I mean, he's probably the indie wrestler of the year. I've said it before, like this guy main events every goddamn indie show out there. Like I'm not even kidding, like a lot of them. But
to think of his creative must think that because he's gotten so many, big wins that like he's still over no matter what. So like you can always just interject him into pretty much any involving a title.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, he is, and like his style and everything was cool. And so before this, there was a little thing for Alan Angels and Heath, which I'm not sure what the hell that came from. I guess he was one of the guys that Heath attacked in his Stone Cold mode one of these days.
Was that part of that? Had to have been part of BTI too, because we didn't actually see that in full, like full match. I think that was.
I'm talking about a video. Just like Angels talking about.
Heath. Yeah.
Like,
was it?
I don't think they wrestled yet. Did this? I think they're setting up this feud. Or I'm guessing Heath like stunned him.
Well, my thing was it was in an in-ring thing. That's why I wondered if it happened on BTI. That's why I was getting at that, because like I love that, and I'm like, why is this on? You know what I mean? Being attacked in the ring and being jumped would be much better on the flagship show.
Yeah, I got a little mixed up because I kind of watched them backwards when I was like, oh shit, that was a good BTI match. I was like, oh shit, there was a good BTI match this week. And it's okay. So yeah, we got that. The Rascals, a little short that one. The Wentz match, but no big deal. I just love Bailey flipping around like a lunatic, and it's really nice seeing Wentz back. Then the main event was Eric Young versus Aldis.
I was just gonna say I'm having a bit of a problem with this main event. I thought this was way too short. I think. I thought you
were going to say you were having technical issues. That would have been on Anthem for producing this episode. Go ahead.
No, I just going into this match, I was expecting, I don't know, a lot of outside the ring kind of stuff, like maybe being thrown into like nobody does the guardrail thing where you throw them into the, you know what I mean? They don't
Oh
tend to
yeah.
do it an awful lot, like kind of keeping the match going and kind of like being back and forth. I was expecting it to be much longer. It wasn't a knock on either participant, but I wonder if we're not spending too much time on other things and not, building up the main event and giving it some time.
Yeah, that's one thing I talked a lot about like characters today. I saw something about Pope. I'll get into that in a minute, but I mean, yeah, I mean, I'm not anti-wrestling. Like, I love like a good main event. Like, these guys are great wrestlers. I would have enjoyed watching this for like 15, 20 minutes, but maybe it was like Aldis has a kind of a contract thing. Like, yo, I ain't getting hurt. I'm not wrestling fucking 20 minutes in my last show. What are you, an idiot? You know what I mean?
Yeah, and my thing with this episode this past Thursday, I found it kind of less enjoyable than the week before. I thought the week before was the show was put together a little bit better. I don't know if it's because you're kind of coming in off this, would we have a pay per view like the week before, or you're
Yeah, I haven't loved either of the shows.
no, they were definitely not home run shows, but like if I had to pick out of the two, I would think that the first Fallout night was much better.
I think I didn't like this one more because of the ending, which just felt so flat. Like, I don't believe in the design. Like, they just weren't pushed that way. Like, they shouldn't be able to do that. And where the hell was now that I just mentioned him? Where the hell was Heath? That would have been
Yeah,
the perfect time for Stone Cold Heath to come out. I mean,
yeah,
he's got
yeah,
to he's got to
that's
stop.
what I mean. Like,
He's got to stop picking and choosing. That's your thing, bro. When the show ends and someone's getting their ass kicked, you come
well,
in and you do your stunners. That's your thing right now.
whoever splices the shows together, I would have probably just stuck those BTI transgressions that
Yeah, just
went
like a
out
fake. Yeah.
main show.
Yeah, that could have been good. But I mean, shockingly, now Yuya Mora, I'll never get that name right, but he is in the scene as a believable contender for the DMC, the Digital Media Championship. So that's very cool. One thing I
Yeah,
like is for Matthew Raywolf to get the hell out of here already. It's like weird.
well, definitely with it being kind of like convoluted because lately it's just been Kenny and Joe Hendry, and like he pinned Hendry and is like, yeah, you could put the belt back on Hendry, but like I would like to see it someone else if if
I mean,
there's gonna
I guess to be fair, it would. Yeah, no, I'm with you on that. And then you can just have those two feuding without the belts and Yuya doing his own
yeah,
thing. Like
yeah, definitely.
a weekly Yuya match, or like a weekly, yeah, whatever the hell they call it. But I do guess I got to give him a little credit for having this on the pre-show because that does make it more digital, no?
Oh yeah, definitely. I see where
In
you're
terms
saying.
of the whole digital media, which I mean, I don't know, it's never going to make sense. Change it to like TV title or something, but whatever. Yeah, I don't know. I'd probably give it like a 7, similar to last week. Not much different.
Yeah, I'd
I
probably go.
really didn't like Giselle beating Masha, obviously, even though I understand they need tag teams and whatever.
Yeah, I think that's why I give the week before because like a lot of the matches kind of like they gelled a little bit more than say this week. Like booking kind of didn't really make sense with you had your uh, Trinity and Danny Luna and the
I'm just,
connect
I'm
where
just, I'm
where's
just I like that match, but I mean, I don't know. I don't love the Coven losing. Like, I don't know what the hell you do with them now. Like, what do you do with tag teams? Like, after they lose, that's a real problem. Like, I guess you have to break them up, like, and then make another tag team. I don't know. It's interesting. That's why I don't know if they can. That's why I definitely don't think they can add another title. I'm with you with the whole drop it and just
well
do a
my
mid card title. It would be so much easier, wouldn't it? Like, God.
well I don't know why like one show like why we can't like have an entire episode, maybe have like one male match at the end or whatever, but why can't we have like some kind of like women's tournament like or something
Yeah.
show like just one given week out of the tapings when we do the I don't know 3 or 4 weeks or whatever. Why can't we have just like a women's show every like I don't know 2 3 months, kind of
Yeah, I'm with you.
changing, you know what I
Also,
mean?
again, more goddamn gimmicks, please. There must have been
Oh,
18 AEW Battle Royals since the last Impact one, which, I mean, they're just insane about it. It's ridiculous. Like, people hate it that they have so many. But whatever, that's it for Impact this week. And now we are going to run through spoilers. Get the hell out of here if you don't want to hear spoilers. We don't have night one. Nobody does. Everyone just has night two, courtesy of our friends at Impact Asylum. Good for them, being the only people in the world to get them. Giselle Shaw defeated Heather Reckless, who is, I think I actually follow her on Twitter, on Facebook, oddly enough. Interesting if she'll be sticking around. Champagne Singh defeated Rush Jones. I don't know who that is. No offense. Kushida defeated Mike Bailey. That should be fun. Deanna defeated Kylene. That should be another good one. Oh, here's one that made me really smile. Killer Kelly defeated Jessica and Savannah. Like that's that's unnecessary. That's probably Kelly's biggest goddamn singles win. Moose defeated Kevin Knight. That's probably a fun one. Oh, this one is ugly. Khan and Eric Young went to a no contest, so that's going to continue forever. Bully Ray defeated Black Taurus. So nice to see he's still around in a no DQ match. The Rascals defeated Rich. Wow, where the hell were they this week? Where the hell was Swan and Callahan? They weren't on the show this week, right?
No, I don't believe so. No.
That's another weird thing. What the hell's with OVE? Where the hell has what's his name been? The other dude.
Oh, Madman Fulton and Chris?
Yeah.
I heard that was just going to be for that setter too.
Oh, man. Oh.
They're like, I don't know if they're like.
You just made me really sad with that one. Trinity defeated Jody Threat. I like that, except why the hell would Jody Threat get a title match? And then, okay, this one is ugly. You might want to hold your ears for this one, pure wrestling fans out there. Diener defeated Laredo Kid. Words that should never be used in one sentence. Sorry, what was that, Gary? You want to say that out loud?
Welcome back, Laredo Kid. You just grabbed the Diener. I can see Diener putting a T-shirt line saying, I just tapped, or whatever. I just tapped Laredo Kid or something. God. You know?
Don't even bring him out, man. Diener could have beat anyone in friggin' whatever. That made me angry. Didn't even see it yet. Made me angry. ABC defeated the Good Hands, who I guess are back to being a legit tag team again. God damn, they got to figure out what they're doing with those. They got to figure out what they're doing with those dudes.
It makes me wonder how involved Khan got into that match, though, for him to get a win over Laredo Kid. I think he would be too high flying.
Khan had a match with EY, so I mean.
Yeah. Okay. So he's
maybe he wasn't. I'm not sure. I mean, this is supposedly one show. Who knows? Sabin defeated Kalisto. That should be fun, but I don't like it. Well, to be fair, we missed a night of taping, so maybe Kalisto or Samurai del Sol, which is very hard for me to remember, so I'm going to call him Kalisto. Maybe he won on the first night, somebody else. And then a weird match. Yeah. Alex Shelley defeated Brian Myers for the title. What the hell did Brian... That's what I mean. Like, what did Myers do to get up there? Like, I don't buy him as, like, even... But whatever, I guess it's a solid win for Shelley, and that's it for that. And... okay, back to the Pope thing. I literally never saw this before. The Pope perform. I don't know if you saw it on. I don't know if you do this every week. You know, you watched the Pope back then. Was his whole gimmick like he would perform miracles every week? Or at least like sometimes. I mean, I posted a video where like he cured a blind guy. I was crying as I was watching.
No, I don't think I've ever. I can't honestly say I remember that too much.
He cured a blind guy. Another guy got up out of a wheelchair and started dancing. And then there was a really...
He might have did early on.
I mean, yeah, I'm not making this up. Like, this was like a Impact highlight. And like, it was just so like, what the hell's the word? Like edgy, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that was what, 20 years ago? Could that have been 20 years ago? 15? And like, so at the end, there was like this, she wasn't overweight. Like she clearly had like prosthetic something underneath on her. Well, she was wearing like, you know what I mean? She had like a goddamn thing around her stomach. So he's like, all right, and now you. And he's like, oh, even God can't help you, fatty. Shit, like imagine that today.
Yeah, it sounds like it's kind of like something in ECW's version.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm like,
version of, the Abraham Washington show. I don't know if you remember that when WWE.
Wow, I actually don't.
Yeah, he had a segment like he's kind of like a Denzel Washington, and he had Tony Atlas as his like kind of like his second hand. You know, like he'd say.
Wait, who was it? Was the Pope again?
Oh no, this is Abraham Washington. He
Oh,
was
okay.
kind of very much like your, kind of like your Pope, and I don't know. I always love that. I like, especially Tony Atlas. He's like there. Oh, look, he made you look like a jerk, and he'd go, and he'd start laughing at everything he said up there. It just was really fun. Like that definitely is missing in wrestling, you know.
Definitely. And like that, I was just thinking, like if that Pope thing was a weekly thing, like I would definitely tune in just to see like what he's going to do next week. And that's again, that's the kind of thing that's missing, I think. And whatever, there's a lot of things character wise. I just wish it was more fun and a lot of stupid shit like the old days. Like even like we talk about like my ideas with Robles, like masked wrestlers just coming in and we don't even find out who they are until like months later, and just all kinds of fun shit they can do. And I don't know, I feel like they kind of hit a little boring wall and need a little slap in the creative ass or something. But maybe that'll happen. Maybe that'll happen at the UK.
Do you think we got time this week for a little bit of
about 3 minutes?
Okay. Got a couple of passings. One a wrestler and one a non-wrestler. I don't know if you saw, but Pee Wee Herman passed away with cancer. He was battling cancer. And
I mean, kind of isn't he in the Hall of Fame?
Yeah, I believe so. And
sorry, WWE Hall of Fame. Don't want to.
Yeah, in the wrestler Exotic Adrian Street, he was a bit of an androgynous wrestler. He kind of like Gold Dust kind of stole like a page from him. He passed away today with I believe he died of sepsis at age 82.
Well, rest in peace, everyone.
And then finally, to make the end on a much more positive note here on the channel tonight, we got the podcast shirt of the week. It's Killer Kelly. The skull T-shirt runs for $24.99 to $26.99. Pretty cool shirt.
Yeah, it's a cool damn shirt, I gotta say.
If you look at the face of the shirt, like if you notice right where her eyes should be, it's K and K with a Killer Kelly, and it's the K's are backwards.
Yeah, I looked at it fast and I was just like, that's a cool shirt. I'm easy. Yeah. I literally look at a shirt like in a second, and I feel like it's either cool or not. At least in my opinion, of a 43-year-old uncool man.
Well, the black on red is really really eye catching. I like that because as you know, me and Jay are huge red fans of the red color.
Yeah, oddly enough, I'm a Red Sox fan and Gary's a Reds fan. So maybe we'll meet in the World Series and kick each other's ass.
Yeah.
And that'll be it for this week. We want to keep it under 55, or I was shooting for 35. That's just never going to happen, I guess. All right, everyone. Peace out. Catch you next time.
Have a good week, everybody.